What up? What's poppin'? What's good, Alan? I see you. Top of the top of the morning. Friday. Y'all already know what time it is. We back in this thing. What up, bro? I see you up very early this morning, bro. Okay, the bro done locked in. Clink, clink. Know what I'm saying? You done pulled up early, so you already know I'm ready to go. Episode 98. We back again, y'all. We back, fam. You already know, family. Know what I'm saying? We're going to set it off early. So like I said, when you hear this video, right after, as soon as you hear what I said, you go subscribe to Grown Man Talk, because that's where we do our thing at every weeknight, Monday through Friday. It's for grown-ups only. What I mean by that is people that want to learn and want to know something. You know what I'm saying? Top of the top, Miss Lay Jones. We about to shape. We got it. Look, we woke up to see another day. That's all that matter. Big Dog TV. We back again. You know what I'm saying? They can't put everybody lights out. We here. You know what I'm saying? Make no mistake about it. And like I said, since the fan pulling up, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get it started. If you late, you just late. We about to go full steam ahead. You know what I'm saying? And it's the For No Fame Live episode 98. And we're going to talk about some things like how 50 Cent was clowning YOUNGBUCK. And y'all know 50 always got to take his shots. You know what I'm saying? But he used this opportunity to take this time to throw his shots at YOUNGBUCK. I'm also going to be talking about this fool, this clown, KODAKBLACK. This man is promoting taking fake pills, aka Fetty Wap pills. He's promoting it in his song for those that don't know. So basically what he's trying to do, he's trying to take out all the youth in America. That's what he's trying to do. That's in my opinion. And he's a clown. He's a fool. I'm also going to be talking about, not too much, but Draco's mom is suing Live Nation. You know Draco, the boy from Cali, they got stabbed up at the concert. His mother's going to be suing Live Nation. So you already know Live Nation being sued from the Travis Scott concert. Now they about to get another lawsuit. I'm also going to be talking about the Mayor Adams in New York City with the new anti-gun squad, about how, you know, he's telling his officers if they deal with any misconduct, they're going to be fired. And I'm also going to be talking about how it's people in New York City still with no heat and no hot water. And I'm also going to be talking about some of the inhumane situations at Rikers Island, because they're treating people at Rikers Island jail like savages and animals. So we're going to talk about a lot of this. And I told y'all, for real, when it's Black History Month, you're going to see the most shenanigans. You're going to hear the most ignorance. You're going to see the most dark clouds, because that's what happened every Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it works. I don't know why, but that's just how it goes. So like I said, without further ado, y'all already know we about to get into it. And I'm not going to hold y'all too long today. So we're going to get busy real quick. 50 Cent. And y'all know 50 Cent, he always got jokes. And you know, when he pop out with them jokes, that's a form of him promoting what he got going on, because he got another new sequel under Power with that boy Tommy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people wanted Tommy back. He about to do a whole nother series with Tommy, and he bringing Lala back, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how she coming back when she passed away, but maybe they're going to make it like she just got hurt and she back. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, 50 Cent is coming back with a whole nother sequel. And he took this time to come out and clown on YOUNGBUCK. You know what I'm saying? Because 50 is a fool. And that's what cancers do. You know what I'm saying? We like to joke and we like to clown, but we bought that money. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Fifth shared a photo of YOUNGBUCK's mugshot along with the caption, Buck B Unit. And he said B Unit stands for bisexual unit. And 50 told Buck, he said, leave that girl alone. She didn't know he had all this shit going on, and none of us did. And he best be coming up with my money. Last August, 50 Cent revealed in court documents that YoungBuck is still contractually obligated to 2 albums via a deal he signed with G-Unit in 2014. Fifth also claims that YoungBuck violated the contract by uploading and releasing music on his own label, Cashville Records. So let me get into this real quick. I spoke about this yesterday. All y'all already know about YoungBuck wilding out on his ex-girl crib, kicking her door and beating her door down like he was the police, kicking her car, beating on her car. She probably had a foreign. He was probably denting it up, putting all type of dents in the car, spazzing out, probably high, you know what I'm saying, allegedly. And he went to the shorty crib and she didn't want to open the door. He started spazzing out. And we also know about YoungBuck with the allegations of him with the transsexual. So 50 took this time to throw a shot at YoungBuck. He said, YoungBuck is down with B Unit. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the bisexual unit. And he told him he need to leave that girl alone. Now, this the point of this whole situation right here. YoungBuck is still under contract, which already shows you that we already know his money ain't right. Now, this we got to understand. Remember, boom, he was signed to G-Unit back in the day. And remember, he was crying. He wanted to get back with G-Unit. But somehow him and 50 squashed that beef. But you got to remember, when 50, remember when G-Unit came back out back in 2014, when they came back out and was reunited? When they took old boy chain, I think it was Slow Bucks, they took his chain on the stage or whatever. Anyway, I know what I'm talking about. That situation right there. 50 gave YoungBuck a whole new contract in 2014. And after he gave him a whole new contract, YoungBuck still went against the grain and ended up trying to diss 50. I told you he was calling him Foofy. Y'all remember he was clowning him, calling him Foofy. He even made a song called Foofy. You know what I'm saying? Trying to clown on 50. So 50 used this time right here to come at YoungBuck neck and remind him that, boy, you still owe me my money. You know what I'm saying? So 50, his exact words is, you best be coming up with my money. You know what I'm saying? So we already know that YoungBuck is in the hole. And we had these conversations about how a lot of rappers still be in slavery with these contracts. We also heard about who recently? Meek Mill complaining and crying about how he's still in contract with Rick Ross. And he want to claim he being blackballed. But they want to spend the money, you know what I'm saying? They want to buy Maybachs. They want to have a good life, but they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to respect the contract they signed. So they don't understand that when you don't abide by that contract, you always going to be in a hole. You're going to owe. So like I said, a real hustler going to hustle his way out of that contract, buy itself out or whatever. Or all YoungBuck had to do was release the 2 albums and get it over with. But he was trying to be slick. And he was trying to be a smart ass by releasing his own music on his own label instead of releasing it on G-Unit so 50 can get his money. So now we in a pandemic and YoungBuck, he still owe 50 Cent 2 albums. And I'm pretty sure he gave him, you know what I'm saying, he gave him some money up front. Because remember, like I said, when G-Unit came back together again, when they squashed their beef, they was back cool. But now, you know what I'm saying, YoungBuck is in the hole and 50 Cent is clowning on him. He said that boy down with B Unit. You know what I'm saying? So YoungBuck is just in the jam right now. His image is being slandered, tarnished. And if he drop an album, I don't even know if anybody gonna buy it. What I mean by that is stream it, download it. I don't know. But in my opinion, YoungBuck is in the hole. And 50 ain't doing nothing but using this clown for promotion. Because power has been lit lately. You know what I'm saying? 50, he got something going with that whole power series. Especially the females. They hooked on power. They be hooked on power. That's a drug. They not missing no episode of Power. You know what I'm saying? Even I be watching on the weekend with my people. So I'm saying that's how that go down. Anyway, also, Power, it do show you everything that's going on right now. 50 be promoting all the agendas going on with the technology and all of that. They be showing you a whole lot of stuff in Power. Like right now, for those that haven't watched it, you know, they up to the point right now where one of the so-called big drug dealers come to find out he an agent. So we already know that's going on right now in real life. Good morning, Rondell. I see you, Queen. John Hamilton, my boy Roski, what up? Yeah, they show a lot on Power. So if you don't watch Power, I suggest you watch Power if you want to know what's going on right now. Because one thing I say about Power, they showing you how it's going down. How everybody's an op, a double crosser, working with the DA, working with the authorities. They show you everything in Power. So Power is kind of more than just a TV series. It's showing you a whole lot of stuff that's going on. And they basically be showing you about that technology, tracking, and all of that. So Young Buck need to chill. And like I said yesterday, if Young Buck would have played his cards right, let's just look at it like this. What if Young Buck would have just boom, Ben did those albums, complied with his contract, and then 50 could have had him on Power shining. He could have had a role in Power, getting more money. And then you got to understand this too about the industry, right? When you don't go by your contract, then other people that might want to do business with you, they're not going to want to do no business with you because they know you the type that don't like to obligate, you know what I'm saying, be obligated to your contracts. And you don't like to pay your debts. So people with a lot of money, they're not going to want to do business with you because you got a track record of, you know, not fulfilling your contract. That's why it's called a contract. When you sign a contract, you're supposed to look it over, break it down with your lawyer, and you're not supposed to sign it unless you agree with it. But once you agree with that contract, you are obligated to that contract and you got to fulfill your promises. That's only right. So when you don't fulfill your contract, you start looking like you're a bad business person and you don't like to pay your debts and people don't want to do business with you because you're a problem. So we've seen, let's be real. Okay, Young Buck try to take shortcuts, drop his own album, try to clown 50, basically his boss, try to take shortcuts. But now let's look at his career. His career is going down a drain. His image has been tarnished. Nobody's really going to want to do business with him, book him for shows, do features with him. And now his stock is going all the way down. So he put himself in a barrel. And 50 Cent has taken his time to throw shots at him and clown Young Buck. And Young Buck did it to himself like he always do. And yes, he was one of the best rappers on G Unit. A lot of people liked the Buck. But Buck has thrown his whole career down the drain because he liked to do a lot of funny things. And that's why 50 Cent said Buck B Unit. Say he down with B Unit. You know what I'm saying? The bisexual unit. So Young Buck brought that on himself. Another thing I'm going to talk about is this lame that you see on the screen, this weirdo, Kodak Black. And we know he is a clown and he is paid to make your kids ignorant. He is paid to make all youngsters in the urban community be savages and fools. That's his job, whether he know it or not. That's what he paid to do. We see he another one that can't get it right. He always is some trouble. He always is some drama. As you see in that picture, he looks stuck like he on a perk. And he's a junkie. Because remember, it was a time when hustling and getting that money was being promoted. But the past 5 years, being a junkie has been promoted. And being a junkie is cool now. As long as you got on fresh clothes, a nice car, a nice crib, you could be a junkie. It's okay. That's what they've been promoting these past couple of years. And it works. And a lot of people have been tricked. That's why a lot of people, I ain't going to just say the young crowd, a lot of people in general are turned out on them PERCS. But for those that didn't hear the song, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all already heard it because it ain't that new, but he got a song called Super Gremlin. And Kodak Black promotes fake pills in this song. Basically taking fake Fetty Wap pills that we already know is going to eventually take your life because they're not real Percocets. They got fatty in them. For those, y'all already know the slang I use for that. So Kodak Black brags about taking fentanyl pills. He said, I knew the perk was fake, but I still ate it. Now, contrary to what the media and many drug users actually seek, look, basically, man, a lot of fiends, they actually want that fatty because they feel like that fatty get them higher more than the actual pill itself. So they actually like pills that's laced with the fatty because it get them a stronger and intense high. So that's basically what he was telling you and promoting in this song, that he knew it was fake, meaning he knew it had fatty in it, but he still took it because he's a junkie. Now, peep game, like I said, that's a slick way of promoting it to your kids, to your family members, that it's okay to take a fake perk. And for the real G's, we already know when you take a fake pill, you about to OD eventually. You're going to OD because eventually you're going to get a bad batch. Somebody's going to serve you a bad batch, or that just might be your lucky day. You know what I'm saying? To get your set of wings. Because you want to play around with fake pills. And you want to buy fake pills from street pharmacists. A lot of people don't know they got the pill machines. People got the pill machines right in their crib. So this is an epidemic. We already know that's going on, but we got to understand that Kodak Black is promoting it because this song is one of the top songs in the country right now, blowing up. So what that mean? It means between now and the summer, a lot of people are going to be passing out on them fake pills. So it's not hard to tell. So boom. Yeah, they going hard on the drill, but you got this fool right here promoting death in a song, promoting fake pills. So that's my whole example. They get a junkie, they make him look official, and your people start following him. And they already think being a junkie is cool. That's why they can't get no real job, dirty urine, you know what I'm saying? Dirty urine. And then eventually they got to go to a rehab if they don't pass out. But y'all been hearing about a lot of people passing away lately. And a lot of it, they be trying to say COVID. A lot of cases, they trying to say natural causes. But what y'all don't understand is it's a lot of people that pop them fake perks behind the scenes. And a lot of people have been ODing. Due to the stress, also, you got a lot of people that are in pain. And they can't get that batch. You know, they can't get that batch from their doctor. Some of them ain't got no doctor. They can't get them on Medicaid. They're not going to give you no perks. So a lot of people are taking a shortcut and they going to the street pharmacist and they getting them fake fatty pills. And they kicking the bucket. That's why I say I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. Mostly all of the new drugs coming out now is lace. The only difference is the percentage in which they are laced. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not lacing it to full capacity, but then you got some grimy dudes out here, they lacing it to full capacity just so you be super high and hopefully you OD. That's the new wave right there. So I'm going to tell you this. If you got any people around you, you need to start putting them on point about these fake fatty pills if you care about them. A lot of people are going to be kicking the bucket over listening to Kodak Black and a lot of these other rappers. But Kodak Black is the poster child of ignorance. So when you see Kodak Black, just know he is the poster child, the billboard for ignorance and being a junkie. Whenever you see his face or you see his name, you always know it's trouble behind it. That's what he's paid to do. He's another one. Got all type of charges and he's still out. Every time you see his name, it's going to be ignorance. And I told you for Black History Month, you're going to see people looking the most ignorant. Like this is a month where some people supposed to be proud, but this is a month you're going to see the most slander, the most ignorance. They're going to have the most ignorant people representing your culture. And it's all called a mockery. It's a game. And that's why his song is blowing up. Because it's promoting OD on pills. Allegedly. So that's my whole point. Like I said, we got the drill music. People feel a certain way about that. You got the pill movement. And then really the pills and the drill go together because people that drill usually pop pills. That's how it go. So it all goes together. Like I said, American death culture. You take it or leave it. That's what it is. So at the end of the day, as long as they're going to keep getting paid to be junkies, why are they going to stop? And guess what? Think about it. Anytime a radio station that's in your city, in your town, sit there and play that man music back to back to back all day, all week, all month, and they know what the lyrics say in the song, that just shows you everybody with the agenda. Everybody's with it. It's just that they play the blame game. They point fingers. When the heat come down, they point fingers, but everybody is with one machine in the entertainment game, one machine. Y'all remember a couple months back, a couple years back, pardon me, when Rick Ross had the song talking about he put the Molly in the girl drink and she ain't even know it. He was promoting date rape. He got a little smack on the wrist. Reebok stopped the deal with him. But the point is, you always going to see before it even got to that level, the radio was already promoting the song. When they already knew what the lyrics said when they first heard it, they still going to promote it. It's just a matter of when they get caught or somebody say something. That's how it worked. So you got to understand one thing about them ERCs, especially ERCs laced with fatty. Now, the thing is, when they can't get them, that's when the real fiend come out. When they can't get them, that's when they're going to rob your grandmother. That's when they're going to try to go in their girl purse. That's when they're going to try to steal an EBT card. That's when they're going to try to carjack somebody because they can't get that fake pill. So it's different dimensions of being a fiend. Like I said, these dudes are rich, so they can maintain a fiendish habit because they never going to fall off. Because the simple fact is, it's like this. It's so many perks you can do in a day anyway. When they're on that blow, it's only with so much blow they can do in a day anyway. But when you're on the street and you can't keep up that habit every day, that's what makes you a fiend, and then they start doing all type of fiendish behavior. So that's why all this is trickling down to the street. And basically being a junkie is cool now, but guess what? All the junkies are turned out because the drugs are slowing up now, and it's hard to get that work. So that's why you see a lot of fiendish behavior. Home invasions, people trying to kick in your door, people trying to jack people at the ATM machine, people pulling out a knife on people to steal their cell phone and run. That's called fiend behavior. And it's young people with this behavior. So we all could say we living in a time now that's officially worse than the crack era. The crack era has been officially topped. For those that know what I'm talking about. This is a whole new breed of junkies now. That's what we got to understand. And it's taking off, and it ain't about to slow down no time soon. So once again, Kodak Black and his song Super Gremlin, he's actually promoting fake pills. And he brag about it. He talking about, I knew the perk was fake, but I still ate it. That's why this man is a clown and he's a fool. And eventually, Kodak Black, he's going to reap what he sowed, because hopefully one day he don't pass out on one of his own pills. Or what if this? What if he don't even pop pills and he just lying to sell his records? So that make it even worse. Either way, we all can agree that he put in position to make a lot of kids be junkies and pass out. That's one thing we all can agree on. And with that note, I'm going to go to the next topic, because I'm going to show you a pattern how when you listen to people like Kodak Black, you're going to be locked up and you're going to be a junkie. Now, check this out. Recently in New York City, Rikers Island. Everybody know about Rikers Island jail. A local leader, a community leader, did a pop-up at Rikers Island. And they discovered some things when they popped up there. For those that don't know, Rikers Island has been going through it for months now. The whole pandemic, they've been going through it. A lot of officers quit, a lot of chaos, a lot of violence. They on hunger strikes. They say it's very dirty, nasty. Now, for those that don't know, me and the bro P, we did a special a couple weeks ago about the harsh prison conditions in Mississippi. How they had to use the bathroom in plastic bags, wash up with water bottles, sleep deep on the floor. But what we did not know is that the same exact thing we seen in Mississippi is going on in New York City right now, which proves to y'all all is going on over the whole America. It ain't just one state, one city. The same exact thing in Mississippi is going on in Rikers Island jail in New York City right now. The leader said when he went to the jail, they had to use water bottles for shower heads. And they have not been able to go outside due to lack of staffing. They also said that they had the nerve to say that they showed up to support the people in jail to show solidarity for Black History Month. So basically, they saying the only reason why they went there because it was Black History Month and they went to the jail to show love to the inmates. So that's what makes it sad because it's very wicked out here. Now check it. They said that it's inhumane conditions. Inhumane, that means animal level. Actually worse than an animal, meaning it's not even an environment for anything living to be in. And this has been going on for months. They said it's filthy. And on top of that, people losing their life. 15 people have lost their life on Rikers Island just the past year. And for some people that don't understand, Rikers Island is where you go before you actually go upstate to do your real time. That's where you go back and forth to Kodak. So basically, 15 people have died before they even made it through their trial. And you got to understand, out of that 50, look, the people that died, they could have been there for petty crimes. They could have been there for, you know what I mean by petty crime, meaning they could have just been facing a year, you know, little 18 months. They could have been facing 3 years, but 15 people have died and didn't even make it through court. That's how messed up it is on Rikers Island. And that was just in 1 year. So you could say out of 15 people, that's like a person died every month, just waiting to go to trial. So that's just a tip of how inhumane it is and how savage it is. But you got to remember, that's happening in every jail across America almost. They're just not talking about it. So this local leader popped up and he's seeing the inhumane conditions because remember, a lot of people got locked up in this pandemic. And I just told you about how a lot of young boys, they turned into fiends. They doing petty crimes. A lot of people getting drilled. They going to jail. So the jail is overcrowded right now. I think jail might be about to be more crowded than we ever seen in our whole life. And I'm going to tie that into this next story with the mayor, New York City Mayor Adams. And he recently warned the new anti-gun squad. I already reported about them. We already spoke about them. The new anti-gun squad, aka Stop and Frisk. And he warned them that any misconduct they do, they will be fired from the force if they engage in any misconduct, period. And this is what he said. This is what the article said. Keywords. The team is tasked with wiping out gun violence across the city. So when you hear that word wiping out, that means wiping out everybody on the street. That means eventually everybody that live by the gun is going to be jacked up and sent to Rikers Island. And I just told you it's already packed. It's already crowded. It's already inhumane. And now they about to go start sweeping up some more people. That's why I call it the ships, the slave ships. When you look at them pictures of them people on them boats, and you see all them bodies piled up and stacked up, that's exactly how I look behind that G-wall. For those that's slow. So on one hand, you got the inhumane conditions already packed. They can't go outside. They washing up with water bottles. And then on the other hand, they telling you they about to wipe out some more. When they say wipe out, that means a lot of people ain't going to be around by the summertime. Because now the pressure's on. And guess what else happened? Y'all already know when Biden came to the city yesterday, what he actually did was that put extra pressure on the mayor. Now the mayor got to prove himself because he got that bag. $300 million was dropped on him to handle this business. So now the pressure's on the mayor to prove that he's a good nigga and he got to put that work in. And what that means is he going to be going hard on his staff. And his staff going to be going hard on anybody in them streets. So this is a chain of command that has to be fulfilled because they obligated now, being that the city got that money, the president done pulled up, now obligations got to be met, which means results. And results mean stacked up jails. You watching politics in your face. You watching how the money move. Because like they say, prison is a business. For those that still don't understand, it's a business game. And the more locked up, the more money. The longer they locked up, the more money. We just reported about how they trying to make it where you get caught with a pistol, you're not getting no bail. So that means that you don't really have a chance to fight your case. For those that don't know, you don't really have a chance to get your life in order. And like I said, you can get locked up, and by not being able to get out, you can lose everything faster than you normally would have. You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose everything, your family, your crib. So now, basically, as soon as you get locked up, you automatically lost everything. That's really what we're looking at now. And this is going to happen due to niggas like KODAKBLACK promoting fake pills, which also going to make people sell fake pills faster, because now they're going to feel like it's cool to sell these fake pills, sell that work. And while they're trying to sell that work, they're going to be getting wiped out. My point is, it's so many things in place right now. Everybody just going to get caught up in it. So my point is this. The playing field has changed and the games will continue. And it's called one hand wash the other. Joe dropped the bag. The mayor got to put that work in. He got to put the pressure on you know what I'm saying, on the police. And the police got to put that pressure on the bros in the street. But at the end of the day, somebody got to pay the piper. Somebody going to have to pay. And we already know who's going to pay the price. And that's how they cashing out. And that's how, when I said some people are going to become history, never seen again. History. People going to forget about you. Life going to move on without you. You're going to be history. So that's what I was saying when I was saying, are blacks becoming history? Or is the urban community becoming history? Or the thug life becoming history? Yes, the thug life is becoming history. The thug life ain't going to be nothing but something Tupac used to shout out, because that thug life is about to be wiped out. It's being wiped out right now every day, right in our face. And guess what? They didn't even turn up yet. They just really started. The mayor just sent this memo out on Sunday, how he had to remind his workers to be easy. Don't go too hard. Don't go too hard with the profiling. Don't go too hard with the misconduct, because you will be fired. He don't want to make himself look bad, because they already know, due to the Eric Garner situation. Y'all remember when the police choked out that man for selling cigarettes? And for those that know, we already know selling cigarettes was one of the basic hustles in New York City for a long time. For about 15 years now, maybe longer than that, since the beginning of the 2000s. You know, people in the hood been able to make a couple dollars off selling Lucy's. And we seen what happened with Eric Garner when he got choked out for selling cigarettes, because those cops was being too aggressive. Those cops was dealing with too much too much hate. So now the mayor is trying to make sure that none of his officers make him look bad. So he put the memo out. If any of them get caught up in any misconduct, they will be fired from the force. And that's also a way to pacify the common people, to make you think that all the police are going to be doing the right thing. When we already know in the street, it's a thin line. But for like I said, I gave a report on all of the precincts in the boroughs dispatching these units. These units got a whole separate bag. Like the Bronx, they got 10 different precincts with this program. Brooklyn got like 8 precincts. Manhattan got like 5. My point is this. For every 5 undercovers, they're going to have a sergeant watching them. And then a lieutenant going to be watching the sergeant. My point is, it's a whole new operation taking place. Basically, what I'm going to tell you is they're going to be cops, but they're going to be moving like gang. And they are going to have their body cameras on too. They're going to be on foot patrol, you know, sliding through the buildings, sliding through the back blocks, pulling up in the whip, sitting in the car low key. They're going to be moving like gang. But the only difference is they're going to be police officers. And they're going to have on regular clothes. So that's why what you're looking at, you about to see a real game of cops and robbers play out. That's my whole point. You about to see it in real life. That's why all the individuals stuck in the middle, you're going to get caught slipping eventually. And I always told people that banging is 90% mental, 10% physical. So if you're not smart, you ain't going to make it anyway. But all that thinking you're going to be grippy, you're going 9 times out of 10, your percentage rate of you getting ran down on is very high. You're not going to make it too far. That's how this whole thing's set up. So we're going to tie it all together. You got people like KODAKBLACK promoting taking fake pills. We already know with the drill, we got the beef back and forth. That's a whole separate dimension. Then you already got the regular gangs that got to come out and get their money regardless. That's a whole nother chamber. We heard about the 4 people they've been snatched up for selling fake drugs throughout the whole city, which Michael K. Williams passed out. That's a whole nother chamber. We got so many different things going on, but all of it got to play out in the street. And while it's playing out in the street, the boys in blue, they coming through. So which means the jail's about to multiply and quadruple. So doing a bid is not just going to be a regular bid and come home no more. You about to go, if you get locked up now in New York City, you're going to be in hell. Hell on earth. That's what's going to happen to you. And it's already orchestrated and signed to seal. Joe signed that bag money, and it's official. The money has dropped. That means what? Somebody got to pay. So that's why I say you just stay out the way if you're smart. But that's that on that part right there, because it's all ties in with the agenda. The next thing I'm going to talk about is Facebook. For those that don't know, Mark Zuckerberg, he been crying. He been crying because Facebook is losing money due to TikTok. He been whining and crying because a lot of people don't understand that Facebook is on the stock market. TikTok is on the stock market. A lot of merchandise has been losing value on the stock market, but social media has been making a lot of money. So that's my whole point when I be telling y'all, right? Is other new ways to make money now. You ain't got to flip money on the street. Or if you was flipping money on the street, you should have had some money invested in Facebook and TikTok, because everybody cashing out. Or every time you log on, it's somebody cashing out, or if you logging on, dealing with ignorance. So now we see why a lot of back and forth beef had to happen. A lot of Facebook live shooting, all this beefing, because people was getting paid off all of that the whole time. So Mark Zuckerberg has been crying because Facebook went down, losing 20% of its value, and he blamed it on TikTok. And he said, and they say that TikTok is steamrolling Facebook. Facebook lost about 500,000 daily logins. So according to that perspective, okay, they say that 1.93 billion users check in daily, but they saying that the number sank 22.6% in value on the stock exchange. And to translate that mean $2 billion in losses. Pardon me, 200 billion. 200 billion in losses have been on the ropes lately, with Congress also. Remember, Congress is on Mark Zuckerberg's neck too. Remember, he was in court recently. So that also been affected his money. So the whole point is they saying that Facebook is also losing traction due to the youngins. Young people don't rock with Facebook like that. Y'all know that. A lot of y'all family members on Facebook, your grandma on there, your moms, your pops, your uncles. Old people, they destroy Facebook. A lot of old people, they destroy Facebook. I'm going to be real. To the point where years ago, I had to block my whole family for trying to come on my page. I'll be real. I've been blocked them on my page a long time ago. And when I see them in public, I don't even say nothing about it. Because Facebook been going down the drain. And the young people, they don't rock with Facebook no more. But the point is, if y'all caught it, they took a $200 billion loss. And that's only 22%. So they still caking up. But the point is, who are they caking up off of? Who is the ones that sign on every day to these websites, to these apps? Who's generating all the revenue? Who they making all the money off of? I could have sworn it was the hood. I could have sworn it was certain communities. They getting paid all this money. And guess what? We don't even have no money invested in it. That's the sad part. We on it every day and don't have no money invested into none of these websites, none of these apps, and everybody else is cashing out because you love the gram, you love the book, you love it, you love YouTube, but you ain't got no money invested in none of these companies. So especially if you're a rapper, you're supposed to be the main one with money invested in it. So then, yeah, I can start a Facebook beef. I can start an Instagram beef because I got money invested. When I make it jump, I cash out. But see, we not even that smart. So once again, we still losing. But Mark Zuckerberg is crying because he lost 20%. He's crying because he know, guess what? Facebook is going down the drain. And TikTok is winning right now. And for those that don't know, you can get money off of TikTok. I'm going to put that out there for those that don't know. You can get paid off TikTok. That's a big difference. So don't nobody care about no Facebook no more. And you already know it's a lot of fake pages on Facebook. Every day you get inboxes or you get a friend request from a fake page. And Facebook is nothing but a bunch of junk. Half the stuff be on your timeline you don't even want to see because they've been promoting brands to you. They've been pushing stuff down your throat. And some of y'all crazy because y'all be on there with all type of pictures, all type of stuff, and your family be watching you. Like you got chicks that be showing all type of nasty pictures, and their uncle, their friend. You got dudes on there promoting drugs, and their mama, their Facebook friend. That's how sick Facebook is. It's sick. But the point is, Mark Zuckerberg and a whole lot of people been cashing out of all them pages. And that's how that worked. So my point is, if you do get your hands on a little bit of money, it ain't too late to invest in none of these websites. Facebook, TikTok, it ain't never too late. If I'm not mistaken, TikTok was in the top 3 on the Amazon. All these companies that we love have been spending all our bread on. Y'all remember in the pandemic, everybody went Amazon crazy. Everybody went online shopping crazy. But a lot of people cashed out of all that shopping. So my point is, if you do get some change, you do get a little bit of bread, you can flip some big bread in them stocks. But when you hear the word stock, you panic and you don't want no parts of that because you feel stupid. But guess what? You still could learn. You still could. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the people that got bread or the people that want to get it, that's going to have a little money. You can go holler at somebody and learn all of this. I got to step my game up too. So I'm not being no hypocrite, but I'm telling you, you got to invest your money in other things, and it still will flip more than selling drugs. It'll flip more than any type of work you ever touch if you invest in the right thing at the right time. That's where we in now. Between stocks, crypto, online betting. Because remember, when you step out your crib and you hustling, you gambling with your life every day. But now they got it where now you can gamble online and it's legal. So my point is, you still can flip your bread. And people have been cashing out off of other people's stupidity and ignorance because you keeping the machine going, you keeping it going, but you ain't got no money invested into none of it. And somebody sitting back with their hands behind their head, their legs crossed, chilling, sipping a martini, cashing out every 4 quarters. So that's why Mark Zuckerberg is crying, because he's losing 20%, and it equaled out to $200 billion in losses on the stock market. They still doing good, but the stock market took a dive. So that's why he pissed. And they saying he losing 500K, subs a day, basically. So that's where we headed at. Remember, half these people got rich through other terms. We got to understand that. That's why selling drugs is it's like old school now. It's played out. It ain't got nothing to do with, oh, you ain't on the block. It ain't got nothing to do with that. That's like a dinosaur hustle now. You got to remember, a lot of these companies, a lot of these individuals, they had their hands in the drug trade over 40 years ago in the 80s. A lot of these people made their money in the 80s, early 90s. Then they transitioned their money into legitimacy and flipped it and bounced it. Now they billionaires. Y'all remember when they showed the movie Scarface, where they showed you Scarface, those who watch Cocaine Cowboys, they sat there and told you that half the banks and half the buildings you see in Miami now to this day come from the drug money. They told you that, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Some of these Fortune 500 companies, they had their hands in the trade. Between that, and you also heard about a lot of these old 500 Fortune companies had their hands in slavery through their ancestors. So every big business you see, 9 times out of 10, allegedly came from dirty money. They showed you in The Godfather how Michael, aka Tony Montana, aka you know who, was trying to transition that mafia money into a nonprofit organization. So my point is, a lot of these corporations and organizations you see, eventually it started from dirty money. So this ain't nothing new. It's just that certain people are still slow to the game, and they still want to stand on corners and make hand-to-hand plays. They still want to sit in trap houses forever and don't understand how to flip a dollar multiple ways and keep it clean. And I know that sounds corny, but that's the truth. But Mark Zuckerberg, he need to stop crying, because Facebook is becoming whack, and you just ain't going to be able to keep making money off the hood no more. That's it. When they can't make money off the hood, they want to get mad. That's how it works. Anyway, he need to chill out, because don't nobody care about no Facebook for real. Also, what's been going on is, I know y'all heard about this too. I already know y'all heard about this. The situation with FBG Duck and the 5 men that's charged in the murder of, the rapper, they will not face the death penalty. And this decision came from federal prosecutors on Wednesday. That also means that, in my opinion, that these dudes are talking and they telling. And they cutting deals behind the scenes. Because they don't want that chair. Remember, dudes want to put in that work, but they don't want that work to get put in on them. That's why you're always going to see when a so-called alleged killer face that death penalty, they get scared and they start telling. They don't want to get that chair. And that's how it usually works. But the 5 individuals in that case, they're not facing the death penalty no more. And we also heard Mama Duck speak on the situation. So it just shows you that when you look at it in the big picture, it's like they were sanctioned to do what they did because they're not even going to pay really for what they did. So my point is this: a lot of things are being sanctioned, you just don't know it. And what I would say is this: a lot of people are being used as pawns to do dirty work, and they don't even know they're being used. Like the situation with the dude that recently got caught with the 73 guns. The police sat there and gave him all that money for all those guns. So basically, they was funding the whole operation. Because when he was selling to them, he also sold to other people in the city every trip he made, which intensified the beef. So my point is this: the higher ups always going to cash out off your ignorance, and they will use you for a pawn. So that's why you got some individuals, they don't necessarily be agents, but they be being used as agents. They be being used and manipulated and don't even know they're being manipulated. And that's how they use them for a pawn. Then when they get tired of using you for a pawn, or they don't need you no more, then they dispose of you. That's how it works. Because even when you're an agent, eventually they're going to come for you too. You know why? Because you know too much. So that's how it works. You got to get thrown in the trash. You no longer of usage. You was just needed for that operation. After that operation over with, they're going to dispose of you. That's how it works when you do sell out. Anyway, also to throw this in there, somebody called Colin Kaepernick a bum. Colin Kaepernick was coming out of Madison Square Garden the other day, and a man yelled out that you a bum and you couldn't throw anyway. You couldn't even throw a football. But my point is, why is Colin Kaepernick still walking around with that afro? When we know that a lot of people forget this about Colin Kaepernick. Y'all forgot. Yeah, he was protesting. Yeah, he got on one knee. Yeah, he was for the people. But you forgot he got a big deal from Nike and he fell back. And a lot of y'all didn't know that he cut a deal. And when he cut that deal, that was for him to shut up. So that's why Colin Kaepernick been shut up. He been got them M's and fell back. But a lot of y'all thought he was a freedom fighter because you still thinking a person in sports could speak up for your rights. So once again, Colin Kaepernick, he played finesse game and he finessed the people. He got that bag from Nike and he chilling right now. So why is he still walking around with that afro like he Huey Newton or somebody and he from the Black Panther Party? When the whole time that boy is a fraud. And a lot of people feel like, I watch sports, a lot of people feel like Colin Kaepernick started that whole thing up because he got put on a bench. If you go back in history, you will see he had just got put on a bench. Either way, he got paid for everything he did. He got 30 mil. And he ain't said nothing since. Because you don't understand that it's people that'll sell out real quick. So that's all I'm trying to tell you. Colin Kaepernick ain't no hero. He ain't no hero of mine. And that's why you also going to see he got slandered and they called him a bum in Black History Month. This made news. And that was a way of them smacking you in the face, showing you that he's a fraud. And he ain't no leader. So a lot of people got caught up in that Cap situation for months. Kaepernick. Why they doing this to Cap? His name is Cap, which means he been capping the whole time. But you ain't get it. He was capping. That's why he got that 30 mil. He shut up. You know what I'm saying? Period. Y'all keep getting caught up in the game. Anyway, he is a bum. Because before he got out the game, he couldn't throw. And if you don't believe me, ask a 49er fan. They'll tell you. Anyway, also something that's grimy happening in Black History Month is a grandmother of 10 was so mad that she cried over heating issues. And this is going on in the East Harlem public housing complex. And a woman says she has no heat and no hot water. And she compares her home to an icebox. And she said, the woman said, I pay my rent every month and I don't get nothing, not even my hot water. So a lot of people don't know, you got to remember, it's been multiple storms. It's been freezing. Degrees in the teens. And you had people that did not have no heat that whole time. And this is somebody's grandmother. And this is a city housing. So what that mean? It mean the city, the mayor, whoever's in power, they don't care about no housing. And you just heard about how all the money just went where? All the money went to law enforcement. So why is this woman in her house with no heat? That means no water. No money went to the housing projects. They don't care about who ain't got no hot water, who ain't got no heat. They don't care about that. Right now, they only care about getting them guns off the street. So you see the game being played once again. You see them playing CeeLo. You see them playing craps right in your face. A grandmother ain't got no hot water. But law enforcement just got a whole lot of money to lock niggas up. Because that's what's going to happen. And meanwhile, Granny, she ain't got no heat. And they got Granny crying all because she got a freeze in her crib. And they said another storm about to hit. So we already see that it's a lot of games being played. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to think about this. How in 2022 is people living without no heat and no hot water? I just told you about the inmates in jail that got to wash up with water bottles. So why Granny got to be in the crib washing up with jugs of water? Heating water on the stove. Y'all know how it go. We all been there in life. My point is this. In 2022, Granny ain't do nothing to nobody. She ain't got no heat. But meanwhile, they're going to take guns off the street. And meanwhile, I just told you how they spend all type of money in undercover operations. But people that's the so-called civilians, they the ones that's suffering the most. So that's why I say this is a game going on. This is a whole big game. Salute to the chat. I see the family up in early this morning. What up, Chi? Let me run through this real quick. What up, Rondell? Always on the pull up. That's right. Got the bros and the sis up in here. OG Circle Gang, what up, bro? I ain't seen you in a minute. My boy Diz, what up? Y'all see the games being played, man. But I ain't going to keep going on about it. I'm just going to sit back and watch, like I said. I sit back and watch it play out. I just try to tell people what I see. That's it. That's why I always tell y'all, this is all my opinion. That's it. I just tell you what I be seeing. That's right. Housing is selling their property and they're turning projects into condos. So let's keep it real. For a lot of people that's been trying to throw dirt on the projects, little do they know those projects are still strong property. They just got to be remodeled. Because we already know the projects withstand a whole lot of things. They're already built strong. But the thing is now, they kicking people out, playing a finesse game, making them want to leave, making them want to run by playing with the heat and the hot water. And what they're going to do is sell it and then refurnish them, replenish them. I already seen particular blueprint on how they are going to be lacing out certain projects. They're going to be lacing them out. Not only, all right, put it like this. They're going to have the ones that they sell. They're going to turn into condos. And then certain projects, they are going to fix them up and clean them up. But they're only mainly going to be for people that work and need help. It's not really going to, they're not going to remodel these cribs for the people that just collect and don't do nothing. Those are the ones they're trying to get rid of. But the people, like, say the mother that does have multiple kids and she got a job, but she can't afford to pay, a expensive rent, they're going to still make some of these projects clean for the up-and-coming mothers that's doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how they got it set up now. But as far as the welfare queens, the one that's just been sitting back for years, got mad kids, popping them out, they trying to push them out. The ones that they know for a fact ain't working, don't want to work, they're the ones they trying to push out. But the disabled people and some of the elders, they are replenishing some of these projects. I already saw the plan. They are going to be fixing them up from the windows to the inside. They're going to be fixing a lot of the projects up. And then another portion of projects they're going to be selling to private companies. So the whole point is they are pushing people out the projects. And remember, once you get put out the projects, it's very hard to pay regular rent after that when you've been living in the P's for a long time, paying a smaller rent, not having to pay a light bill, not having to pay a water bill. And you got to get pushed out, and now you got to pay all these bills. It's not that easy. So that's another game that's been played. Salute, Miss Lay. What up, P? Once again, the bro up in here. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, you go subscribe to Grown Man Talk. That's where the bro and me do our thing at. You know what I'm saying? Always dropping new content, helping the vision. What up, bro? Tapping in from down bottom, from Louisiana, the boot. You already know. Everybody up in the building. Queen of Detroit. Salute to everybody, East Coast, down south, Midwest, and the West Coast, and overseas. Episode 98. That's where we at with this right now. But like I said, it's Friday. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. But I think I touched on everything that's been going on. And like I told y'all, keep your eye open for Black History Month, because every day you're gonna see some new clownery and some new mockeries, and you're gonna see some new BS every day. You're gonna see a whole lot of slander, and you ain't gonna really see nothing positive this month. That's why you're seeing all this new stuff being announced this month. You see the war about to take place overseas. That was announced this month. You see the war on crime. That's this month. And a lot of entertainers are going to get slandered. You already see YOUNGBUCK get slandered. You already seen Whoopi get slandered. You done seen a couple rappers kick the bucket already. That's what's going to go down Black History Month. It might be a few positive things, but I don't know. And it's just all my opinion. So don't get mad at me, because some people are very sensitive. They're like beefing in the comment section, and they get mad. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. Anyway, we're going to go back to the top, right? And we're going to get into this one more time for those that just pulled up. And we're going to see this whole thing. Like I said, that when I seen that thing with KODAKBLACK, I ain't going to lie, that made me kind of tight. I was kind of mad because you see that they don't give the money to the people that got real talent or the people that want to make a change. They're going to give that money to the ignorantest person on the planet. And you got to remember, when you look at KODAKBLACK, you're looking at the 2022 version of Flavor Flav. Remember Flavor Flav, he did the same thing. Promoted ignorance, even though Flavor Flav wasn't really stupid, but Flavor Flav got caught messing with them drugs a lot on that crack rock. But Flavor Flav still always got a show. Flavor Love, he always got a deal. He always went on tour. My point is, they're called the jester or the clown. Now, if anybody else know about the jester that performs for the queen and the king, the jester, the clown, does the jester hat look exactly like KODAKBLACK braids? Is he not wearing his hair exactly how the jester hat look? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, for those that know what I'm talking about. Which proves he's a paid clown to make a mockery of your people and promote death and violence and package it up. So that's why I said I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but you got to understand, I told you, when you give a clown everything, when you give a junkie everything, your people going to look up to them and think that's the way to go. You could take anybody and put them in front of a camera, give them a few things, and your people's going to buy it every time. They already know this. And it works, and it's going to keep working. Because he's a clown, he's a jester, and he's a junkie, allegedly, and his whole purpose is to throw your whole generation down the gutter. So that's why he got a hit record called Super Gremlin. And you know about gremlins, they multiply. You know about gremlins, they disgusting. But he got a song called Super Gremlin, and he promotes fake pills and brag about taking fentanyl pills. He said, I knew the PERCS was fake, but I still ate it. That's just one bar from his ignorant song. So like I said, if you catch your kids listen to KODAKBLACK, you might as well just pop them in the back of the neck or pluck them on the arm real quick and tell them, don't be listening to KODAKBLACK. You can listen to him, but don't do nothing he say. I'm gonna be real. Because this dude right here is gonna make your kid OD. That's his whole purpose. And that's my opinion. If your kid's gonna listen to that type of music, at least school them to what they listening to and let them know don't follow these fools. That's all I'm saying, because I'm gonna be real. This dude is gonna have a lot of people ODing just with that one song. Because remember, curiosity killed a cat. So you might not even known about these pills. You might not even be thinking about that as a child until you hear him say it. Now he done put it in your head through the headphones. Now they repeating the song over and over and over again. Now they want to try it. So that's how it worked. So like I said, this man should be outlawed for promoting that ignorance. And let's guess what? The ignorance he promoting is actually death. He just making the sound fly. That's it. So basically, that's murder on the track. That's what he's talking about. Murder on the track. Not murder in the track. He promoting murder on the track. Anytime this clown talk about he's taking fake Percocet pills, and half the hood is turned out on perks. So we already know. Keep your eye open for the OD. I also spoke about 50 clowning YoungBuck with that mugshot yesterday. And he called him Buck B Unit, saying that Buck is down with the bisexual unit. And he need to leave that girl alone, stop kicking on her door, stop beating on her car. And 50 said he best be coming up with my money. So like we said before, YoungBuck is in the hole. He's a TS chaser. And I'm pretty sure that girl see him as being nasty and she don't want no parts of him. And that's why she dubbed him when he came to the crib and was banging on the door. She was in the crib the whole time. But she know he's nasty, he's dirty, and she probably like, nah, I ain't dealing with you today. He got mad. Either way, he still owed money, and he's in the hole. A lot of these rappers are in the hole. I told y'all this. Y'all already know, and they're going to be doing anything. And I wouldn't be surprised if YoungBuck is not a male prostitute too, allegedly. Because these dudes is going broke real fast. And like I say, actually, we doing better than a lot of these rappers. You know why? Because we don't owe nobody no thousands. We don't owe nobody no six figures. So we're actually doing better than a lot of these rappers. That's why I'm trying to tell you, stop looking up to these entertainers, because a lot of them, they doing bad anyway. And when you don't owe nobody no racks, you're actually all right. Little do you know. You might not have nothing right now, much, but it's better than owing people six figures, and everything you make, they're going to take it from you. So let that be a lesson on YoungBuck, on how when you disloyal, you always going to be struggling, and nothing going to go good for you. That's how it works. You know he broke because he don't even got the spinning G unit chain no more. Then he had the spinning YB chain with the Y and the B that was a spinner chain. He don't even got them chains no more. So we already know YoungBuck is in the gutter. That's all I'm saying. And I don't have no problem kicking a man when he down, especially if he was arrogant. But other than that, I'm going to let YoungBuck be. But 50 has been clowning that boy, and he said he better come up with my money. So that's the end of that. So as of now, YoungBuck is down with B Unit, according to 50 Cent. That's what it is. I also told you about how Draco mom is suing Live Nation. Good luck on that. So I don't know if she's going to get that bread, because a lot of people be trying to sue that company, and it don't really be looking too good. We don't even know if the people at the Travis Scott situation going to get paid, because that's another lawsuit. And for those who don't know, if I'm not mistaken, Jay-Z got his hands in that whole Live Nation situation too, in that Live Nation pot. I think he is Live Nation. I think. So I'm going to say allegedly. But I know one thing for sure. Live Nation, they owe a lot of money, but I don't think they're going to come up off that money. I think that's going to be real hard. The same thing at that Travis Scott situation. Apple Music had their hands in that pot too. And y'all know it's hard to sue Apple. These are major, major corporations. And they can make it very hard for you. And you got to have a good lawyer and a big bag to even stand up in court against them. But we all know something is suspect for the simple fact that we have never heard in our whole life of an entertainer getting stabbed up at their own concert. We heard about people getting beat up in a crowd. We heard about the people that come to the show get shot, get stabbed, but we never heard of the actual entertainer getting stabbed up at the concert. And guess what else? I don't think nobody even got caught for this. If I'm mistaken, y'all correct me in the chat. I don't even think nobody got caught for stabbing that boy up. And you also got to remember when he was in the hospital, his mother had to look at him through a glass. She couldn't even go give him a hug and a kiss. We also got to remember when he went to the hospital, he was still living. And we also know that what? He was another Empire artist. And we're not going to get into that whole Empire situation with Cookie and Lucius. We ain't going to go there. But we do know for a fact, these past couple of weeks, everybody down with Empire, they have fallen. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, a lot of you dudes, you got to ask yourself, do you really want to be a rapper? Is that all you really want to do with your life, is be a rapper? Because if you do, you might be automatically having an expiration date on your life. You better get in and get out. That's my opinion. Get in and get out. Ain't no more longevity in being no rapper. A rapper, it means something totally different now. It don't got nothing to do with entertainment. For some people, rapper mean cash out. And some people, rapper mean ignorant, like KODAKBLACK. That's what it means for some people. Some people, rapper mean clown. So my point is this. There's nothing wrong with chasing your dreams, but don't let your dreams take you out of reality. That's all I'm going to say on that. Once again, salute to the chat. I'm about to get up out of here. I want to thank y'all for all pulling up in my most humblest voice. It's Friday, and it is what it is. I don't care who ain't got no job. I don't care who ain't got shit to do. I'm going to do what I got to do with my day, and y'all do the same. You know what I'm saying? But definitely keep the vibes right. Keep the energy up real high. Stay positive, because guess what? It's a lot of chaos out here. We already know. But you got to always be entertained. You got to know how to crack a smile. You got to know how to laugh. Because if you don't know how to laugh, you are going to tweak out. That I will guarantee you. Salute Billy Gordo. If you don't know how to laugh and enjoy yourself, you will eventually break down and haywire. That I guarantee you. If you don't know how to take a break, if you don't know how to unplug for the Matrix, you will become a lunatic out here. So that's what I'm going to tell you. That's my advice for the weekend, is chill out and relax. Sit back, do something, have you a drink, do what you got to do. Watch you a movie, kick back and relax. Fall back and get you some if you can. You know what I'm talking about? Get you some this weekend. And chill out. Other than that, ain't nothing but chaos out here, and I don't got nothing else to say. Y'all stay in tune. Like I said, y'all make all this possible. And we up early this morning because we about that grind, period. Episode 98. Salute to the chat. I'm going to do a run through, and I'm going to get up out of here. What up, Alan? Tapping in from the UK always. I still don't understand how Alan is the first one to pull up every day. I don't get it. He pull up faster than everybody. I get it, Alan. You already be up. It's a different time over there. But you still always pull up first. John Shaft. What up, John? Mr. X. If you didn't catch it, you rewind it to the beginning. But like I said, right? Back to New York City, they got a whole nother game plan in effect. I'm telling you. This ain't no scare tactics. This ain't no fear tactics. I'm trying to talk to my people to tell you. You got a chance. Each day you wake up, you still got a chance to slide up out that situation. You got a chance to go that way. Because they coming from that way. So you better go that way. They coming. That's my, you know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing to tell my people. Because right now, this is not a game. Let's get it. OG Circle Game. Miss Jones. Once again, Grown Man P, Grown Man Talk. We up early. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I know we got stuff to do. With that note, I'm up out of here. 1.